What's cooking, everybody? Wilfredo the Porkchop here.
Still a very epic finale right here. Vectrex. Oh yeah. The Vectrex Arcade System. Look at this beast right here. This is awesome right here. Yep, Vector graphics. Definitely not like anything out there you've ever seen before. It's truly a remarkable critter here, to say the least. Let's see right here. Let's take a look. You have to bear with me. I'm doing this one a little bit differently since this thing is huge. It's kind of hard to film, but okay. If I can ever get this thing to focus properly. Of course not. There we go. General Consumer Electronics there. That's the company that made this beast here, at least in the US. Although I came across an interesting article in a recent edition of Retro Gamer magazine from the UK, which I highly recommend if you like this kind of stuff. Highly recommend checking them out. They do have a digital version online. I forget what the web address is, but you just look it up. They're from the UK. The digital version is really cheap because if you try to find the print version in Barnes and Noble or someplace like that, you probably pay 10 or 15 bucks a piece for the issues, and subscriptions can get pretty expensive now. So check them out. But there's an article about the Vectrex here. But in the UK, I believe Milton Bradley was the one that was responsible for putting out a lot of the games rather than it being general consumer electronics. But anywho, let's take a look here. So it has its own monitor. It's kind of wide. It's wide. It's tall and not very large. Let me see if I can compare it to something here. What do I have handy that I can compare it to? Alright, how about this? Yeah. It's not that much larger than a VHS tape here, as you can plainly see. Yep. Yeah, you remember those, right? But yeah. Down here, there's two little nubby things. Those are for the overlays. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have any overlays for this thing, which I wish I did. It would be actually kind of cool if I did. But, yeah. I mean, I got there's a built-in game, Mindstorm, which is really cool. And I got one other game for it. Got here, Armor Attack. Pretty small little cartridge thing here. Smaller than an Atari 2600, and I think it's comparable to like those Commodore 64 cartridges, and they go along on the side here, and you just pop them in. There's a little thing on the side here. I'll show you that. Let me turn this around so we can see that. Cool, with the help of a habit. Right there. There we go. See right in here? This is a cartridge slot. You take that, you stick it right in there, push in, and there you go. A little dusty, but that's okay. Just put this out of the way here. Let's turn around and take another closer look at this beast right here. Yeah. Hi. I know you can see my reflection, but whatever. That's fine. Alright. A little tiny button right here for to take the controller out. So you just try doing it with one hand. Hold on. There you go. And there's your controller right here. Pretty big controller, to say the least. And yep, you just yeah. The controller actually works pretty well there. Spring-loaded. It's an analog joystick, pretty cool. You got pretty decent sized buttons. They feel like buttons you would see on an arcade cabinet or whatnot, but they're a little smaller. Yep. It says 1, 2, 3, and 4. Certain games the buttons would do different. Sometimes the games all the buttons would do the same thing. Other times each button will have a specific function. Or you might have a game where it uses two buttons and then you might have these two do something or these two something. So in case you want to play with these over here, or you want to play with those over here, and whatever. You know, your thumb kind of fits in there pretty nicely, so you can wiggle it around and do stuff like that, or if you want to play with your thumb like this or whatnot. Pretty straightforward. Has very tiny rubber feet on it. I guess if you want to put it on a table, it doesn't really move too much there, so you can do some stuff like that. Actually holds it pretty well. Not too bad. Here's let's see, we got, let's take a look. Let's see what else we got in there. Can we see it? Let me adjust the light. Hold on. There we go. So you got there's a brightness knob over here. I don't know if you can see that. Wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. A little more light. You got, that's the second controller port. There's your first controller port. You got on and off and volume control. And that's for the brightness thing. Yeah, you just pull that, and I guess you turn it for the volume. This just is a regular turning kind of knob. That's where the sound comes out. Speakers, and when you're done, you just wrap it up, put it inside, and click it right back in. Voila. So it's out of the way. Then when you want to play, just do the same thing again. There it is. All ready to go. Now you want to see this thing in action? Yeah, me too. Let's check this out. And away we go! Hell yeah. Mindstorm from 1982. Player 1. It'd be kind of cool if I had the overlays, though. Man, this thing is so bright and cool. Warp speed ahead, Captain! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah! Alright. Oop. Yeah, every button does something different here. Let's see what the... Alright. Number 1 doesn't seem to do anything. Ah! Number 2 teleported me into a bad guy. Number 3 moves my spaceship forward. And number 4 shoots. Alright, pretty cool. Yeah. The overlays usually will tell you what each of the buttons do right on the overlay, so in case you forget, there it is, it'll tell you. Which, that's nice of them to do that. Wow. Yeah. And just so you get the basic idea of this here. Oop. Alright, let me try. Okay, sorry about that. Sometimes it's kind of hard with your fingers, you know. And considering I'm doing this on the fly here, changing my plans at the last minute here. But, hey, what you gonna do? So, there we go. Yep. And so let's go ahead and try a different game here, see what it looks like. And there you go. Push it in. Fits in just fine. Alright. Yeah, they kind of make that noise. That's okay. That just makes it cool. Armor attack! Yes! Alright. helicopter going down. You're disabled. Two helicopters? Is that the best you got? Come on! Hey, come back here! You crap. Well, that sucks. Yeah, I look like a little, Oop. Yeah, try not to ram into your enemies so they can still shoot you, of course. Well, I took him down with me. Yeah! Yeah, well, you get the idea. I mean, there's not that many games for this, but, you know, there's a lot of pretty cool ones, so, there's a lot of people out there that are still making, games for the Vectrex. Alright, hold on. Alright, there we go. Got the normal light back here. Okay, but, yep. Yeah, there's people that still make games for this, and, you know, that's homebrew, as you call it there. You know, a game that, homebrews are people that make games for consoles that a lot of the big companies are not making releases for anymore, that people can still enjoy. Like, I know the Dreamcast has a lot out there, NES has some. I mean, I know there's plenty for quite a few of the other consoles, I'm sure. This one's another big one, too, so, So for now, I only have two games here. I got the Mindstorm and Armor Attack. So, yep. Both very cool, and this is definitely quite the beast right here. I mean, people try to debate about, yeah, what's available. Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, NES, Sega Master System, PlayStation 3, Xbox. I got a Vectrex. I win! Need I say more? But yeah. I just can't get over how this thing is just so different, you know? I mean, it has its own TV monitor thing built into the thing, you know? I mean, it uses its own power cord, which, by the way, it's a normal power cord. It's not one of the big fat box things with the two little nubby things sticking out. I'm referring to the US model for power, of course. It runs, you know, it just has a normal plug with the two things, small little skinny thing. Nothing really much to say about that, but what you gonna do? Yep. The end of the controller, it looks very similar to a Sega Genesis port, but it doesn't work that way. They're cut in a specific way, and plus they're built very differently. So there do exist Sega Genesis controllers that are modded specifically to use for the Vectrex. They still don't support the analog controls, or at least the ones I've seen. But yeah. The controllers are pretty cool, though. They're kind of rare, so your best bet is to get one of those aftermarket, you know, Sega Genesis Vectrex controllers, or if you get one of these that doesn't work very well, there's a guide where it shows you how to fix these things if you're savvy or whatever, so you can look that up and find it very easily. And there's people out there, like if you don't have the original overlays, which I'm looking around to contemplate getting an overlay for this game and for Mindstorm, so I can experience it the way it was meant to be experienced. Because since this doesn't have color, you know, the vector graphics use with the bright colors use these these like plastic plexiglass, you know, colored overlay things that go on the screen and make it look really cool. Yeah. It's very, very cool, man, to say the least. But yeah, hey. And there you have it. It's the Vectrex. Need I say more? This thing is really cool, man, I'm telling you. This thing has really grown on me. I mean, if you have the opportunity to get a hold of one of these things, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I mean, there's not a lot of games for it, but Well, there's more games on this than there are on the Virtual Boy or the Jaguar CD or something like that, you know. But it's not as large as the NES library or Atari library or anything like that. But there's a lot of cool games for it, and if you can get one of these at a reasonable price with a whole bunch of games, I say go for it. You won't be sorry, you know, as long as it works. The only thing is the controllers sometimes are a pain, but you know, like, I mean, there's a guide online that shows you how to fix them if you're savvy. There's people that sell aftermarket modded Sega Genesis controllers and other controllers that you can use with this thing, if anything. So, you know, there's always that. But yeah, but this, all the ones that I did, I mean, yeah, because I had to modify my quadruple feature and whatnot from what I wanted to do, but, you know, things happen. What can you do? This one, I think, is the most impressive, because it's, whatchamacallit, let me see, like, the 3DO is really cool, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I mean, the games on that are either hit or miss, you know, you're either going to like them or you're not going to like them. Every one of these games on this, it just has a certain charm to it, to say the least, you know, it's just really, really cool to play things on this, you know. I mean, the Atari 2600 I've always loved, so I can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that. 7800, it's definitely a cool system in its own right too. And if you have a hard time finding a 2600 that works, if you find a 7800 that works, there you go. That'll do the job for you. So it's a value pack. You get, you know, all the classic games like Yar's Revenge and Frogger and all that sort of stuff, and then you get a bunch of really cool new games, you know, like all those, you know, versions of all those 7800 games that they have out there, you know, which are really cool. And at least you can use regular Atari 2600 and you know, 7800 and the European 7800 controller on it, and there you go. You can play those things. Very, very cool. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a tough call. I mean, but I think I have to vote this one. It's my new favorite now of all the systems that I've got from this quadruple feature. But the 3DO does have a lot going for it, so don't count that thing out yet. Let's just see if I could just find a copy of Space Ace and you know, some of these other games on it. Then I think we'll be all set. And I just got to find a copy of Berserk on this, and I think I'm all set. So, yep, Vectrex Arcade System from 1982. Booyah. Laters.
Attention! Today's lunch special is stringy brown chunks in luscious runny gray stuff.